Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode on the Casual Collective. My name is Lindsay, and I am your host. This will be the third episode of the podcast. We had a little break since the last episode, but we're not gonna perceive it. I had a lot going on last couple weeks, and I will give you an update on that as we continue into the podcast episode. But my plan is to still post an episode at least twice a month or every other week. There was just a little bit of time in between this one and the last one, but just don't perceive it, okay? Don't perceive it. But I don't really have a plan necessarily for this episode today. I just wanted to get something out there and kind of update you guys on where I am at with real life stuff, career stuff, content creation, all that fun stuff. And as we get the ball rolling here, I think I will kind of formulate specific themes for episodes as we go forward. I think my problem right now is I just have so many ideas and themes that I could go about an episode with, but they're all different from one another, so I don't know if I should just have random ass topics every week or if it should be more structured and have the podcast be about something more specific. I'm not sure because I have a lot of like social work stuff I could talk about. I have a lot of content creation and like stories about the online space that I could talk about. Some tea. I always have tea. So we could have like special episodes dedicated to me sharing the tea about things. I think that could be fun. But I don't really know how to structure it right now because I just have so many different things that I could talk about. I don't know if that's something that you guys are okay with, if it's just random topics every single week, or if you would want me to focus on something more specific. I don't know. I haven't really decided. And I think through all of that, I'm also like, I have this problem with imposter syndrome, which we could talk about that in an episode too, because I have imposter syndrome when it comes to like every area of my life. But there's that too, where I feel like I want my content that I'm putting out to be something that matters. And I like to convince myself that what I'm putting out isn't relevant. But you guys seem to like the last couple episodes. I'm really enjoying the feedback from those. I've been having some people join my Discord and share about their hot boy walks, and I've had some people DMing me about the hot girl walks, and I just think like it's so cool. I love hearing from you guys. It's great. So, if you have any comments about the podcast episode, please message me. It's really great to hear about your opinions on the topics that I talk about. So yeah, feel free to DM me or join my Discord if you're not in my Discord and talk about it there. Um, but yeah, so I just have a lot of ideas and I don't really know how to go about them. And I'm low key kind of thinking about just turning on the mic whenever I have a thought pop in my head, whether it's like 9 in the morning or 9 at night or 2 a.m. I kind of want to just do that. Like where I just have an idea and I just turn on the mic and start talking. Is that very structured and organized? No. But I think that's like where you can get the best content from me. Cuz I've kind of planned out my episodes a little bit, but not very detailed at all. But let me know what you guys think. I would really love your feedback on that. And I think all of this, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Disorganization. I don't think it's disorganized. What's a good word? Confusion? I think the confusion with all of it is kind of manifesting from the confusion that I'm having in my life right now. I don't know if overwhelm Maybe overwhelm is a better word. I don't know. But I think everything that's going on in my life right now is also affecting my thoughts on my podcast, which I'm going to talk about more today, I think. And just the overwhelming and confusing part of your 20s, which I know so many of you guys can relate to, but I don't know any person in their 20s right now who actually has their shit figured out. Even the people who act like they have their shit together, you know, you know that they're dealing with some shit too. Like, you can't say that all of your shit is together with all of the external things that are happening in life right now, like with our country and government and everything in between, every sort of agency that we work with. You can't tell me you have like everything sorted out. So if you are that person who has like no anxiety and you're like in your 20s, you have all your shit figured out and there's not a single thing that's stressing you out, please let me know what your tips and tricks are for that, because I don't believe there's a person out there who isn't undergoing some sort of stress or anxiety right now. If you claim that you have your shit together and you have no stress, no anxiety, and you're simply just living and being happy in your 20s, I don't think you're real. I think you're a robot. You're not a real person. But anyway, I think that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. I don't know if you guys are super interested in this stuff or not, so this might not be the episode for you because it's just got a lot to do with me trying to figure out transitions and the anxiety that goes with graduating and going into your career and all that stuff. If anything, I hope this episode we can all come together as a collective and understand that we're all going through shit and we're all just trying to figure it out. We're all just little guys in a big world. Little guys in a big world. And you know what? That might be the title of this episode today. I'm not sure, but I think that would be a good one. I'm just a little guy in a big world on a floating rock. But yeah, that's what's going on. I have a lot of ideas for the podcast. So at least I'm not falling short on that. At least I have ideas for the future. I just don't really know which one to do first or like what you guys are interested in, I guess, you know? But as we get going, I think it'll come more easily. But I do have some tea episodes that I want to have where I spill the tea. I think I'm going to call them Lindsay's Lounge. The title of the episode will be Lindsay's Lounge part whatever. And whenever we have those, that's when I'm going to sit down and really spill the tea. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. We're going to sip on it and we're going to spill it. So I do have some of those too. And I think those will kind of go hand in hand with Q&A type episodes too, where you guys can ask me questions. I'm a very open person. If you've watched my Twitch streams, you will know that I'm a pretty open person when it comes to people asking me the questions. But if you don't ask, I won't really talk about it. But if you ask, I will answer. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I think I might, after a while, after the podcast gets going for a little while, I might open up questions and I'll probably post it on like my Instagram for you guys to like respond to. I think it could really get juicy and some good topics could come out of that. So I'm very excited for that. I think also I'm having a issue with my routine. I don't know how you guys are, but I have to have some sort of routine or else my entire day and week is just screwed up. Right now, I have such a weird routine, especially because I'm not in school anymore and my job isn't full-time yet. So I have weird blocks of time in my day and then like every day is different for me and it messes me up. It messes with my productivity. So I think that's an issue that I'm facing too, especially when it comes to Twitch streaming, because for Twitch streaming, I would love to have a set time each week that I stream. So that way I just know like, hey, this is the day that I stream. But every day of my week is different and every week is different. So I'm having a hard time like figuring out when is a good time to stream and when is a good time to film the podcast and edit the podcast and post it. I did figure out that I'm going to be posting on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. for the podcast. So that's a start. We're getting somewhere. But for the rest of it, I'm just kind of like in this weird space where I don't really have like a set routine, and it's really fucking me up. So I hope that in the next like month or so, I'll start to get into the swing of things and have more of a schedule just for myself when it comes to routines and stuff. But yeah, since my last episode, a lot of things have happened. First off, I graduated. I received my master's in social work, and now I'm just in this weird period of time. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will know what I'm talking about if you have graduated from a university or with any sort of like certificate. There's like this weird period of time where it's like, yes, I'm done, but what the fuck do I do now? You know? I think everyone has at least asked that question at least once in their life where they're like, what the fuck do I do now? And I have a path. I know what I need to do, but there's this weird period of time after you graduate, at least like 3 to 6 months, where you're just like, what's happening? So I graduated last month. It's actually been a month today since I graduated. So I've been graduated for a month now. And first of all, it doesn't feel like it at all, other than the fact that I don't have to spend all this time writing papers. But I just like haven't processed the fact that I'm done with school the rest of my life. I still have to do like continuing education and like seminars and stuff as a social worker. But overall, I'm done with public education. But yeah, I've been graduated for a month. And it's this weird period of time where I have to transition into my full career. And I know people talk about this a lot, but transitioning into your career that you're not stuck in, but kind of stuck in for the rest of your life is just a lot. And specifically with my degree, I got my MSW, which allows me to do a lot more things in the field. However, there is still more to it that I have to do other than just getting my degree. For example, I still have to get my license. So I have my degree, but I need to get my LMSW, which is my licensed Master of Social Work. And the reason why I have to get my license is to basically be recognized by the state that I'm living in to practice more one-on-one with individuals rather than work at like an agency or community type setting. And that's also because I have to get an NPI, which is a number that's assigned to me with my license basically, that allows me to bill insurances. So I have to like do all of that crap, and I just like don't want to, but I have to. And so that's what I've been spending a lot of my time doing since graduating, is just trying to figure out all of that. Because, fun fact, if any of you guys are in social work or like planning on going into social work, fun fact, they don't teach you how to do any of that in school. Even when you're getting your master's degree, they don't tell you how to do any of that or get credentialed, which is very unfortunate because it's like, what the hell did I go to school for? But I feel like that's a lot like other degrees too, where there are certain things they probably should be teaching you, but they don't, which I could probably go on a huge rant about that too. And a lot of the things we should be teaching kids, even in K through 12th grade, especially like high school classes. I feel like why are we learning about the powerhouse of the cell, but not how to file taxes or what a 401k is? But anyway, back on track. I'm leading off of the track here. But they didn't teach me how to do that and how to basically work as a therapist.
Many of the social work programs try to influence you to work at a community level and work for like nonprofits, which I do think is very important and very high need area. However, like that's not what I want to do in the long run. In the long run, I want to be a private practice therapist that can open my own business. So I'm still in the mental health field, and I'm very much working with individuals who are dealing with mental health concerns. But they didn't tell me how to do any of that or even how to get licensed or that you even have to take an exam. What I knew for a long time that I had to take an exam, but I just think it's crazy that they don't tell you any of these things while you're in even graduate school. They don't tell you these things. Since this month of being off of school and being graduated, I've been just navigating all of that on top of the life transitions that everybody goes through, like moving out and dealing with finances and student loans, getting a car. So I've been dealing with all of that too, which another great accomplishment. I was able to buy a car a few weeks ago, so that's really cool. I have been out of a car for 9 months. It goes off of topic, but it's a crazy story. So last December, I had a Prius. It was parked outside of my house, and somebody actually stole it. Mind you, I live in a tiny town, okay? There's really not very many people here. This doesn't really happen very often. But someone stole my car, took it for a ride across town, crashed it, and then brought it back to my house after they crashed it. So they parked it back outside my house with it being absolutely like totaled. And then took the keys with them. So basically they wrecked my car, brought it back to my house, and then kept the keys for themselves. So I couldn't even get into my own car because they locked it and then left. So my car ended up being totaled, and I just got a car a few weeks ago. So I would say that's a little present to myself for graduating. I got a Ford Escape, and I had to go through the loan process of getting a vehicle loan too, which that was a first for me. I've never had to pull out a vehicle loan before. And yeah, so that was another thing I had to do. There's just a lot of like things that I just don't know how to do, but I'm just like forced to figure it out at this point. So that can be a little overwhelming too. And now that I'm graduated from college, I also have to deal with student loans, which are way higher than I thought they were going to be, especially now with all of the financial hardships that everybody's going through right now. I don't know how anybody is able to pay their student loans. And mine are specifically private student loans, so it's a little bit different than everything that's going on with the federal government right now and federal loans. So I have to pay my private loans. And they're a lot more than I thought they were going to be. So just that stress and like that being on my back, just reminding me all the time that I owe all this money. Ooh. If I could go back to my 18-year-old self, I would have some fucking words for her. I would have some words. First of all, I would tell her to go to community college, not a 4-year university that was also private. Why the fuck did you do that? I don't know. So I'm dealing with that too. On top of all of that, I'm also looking to move out because I live like above my dad. So I kind of live with him, kind of don't, but I'm looking for my own space because I am 24. And yeah, so I'm looking for my own apartment too, which that whole thing has been very overwhelming too because there's so many things that I need and I'm advocating for myself for, but unfortunately, since I live in a small area, there aren't very many options when it comes to apartment complexes and places to live. So, and on top of all of that, you guys all know about the housing crisis and once again, the financial hardships that everybody is going through because of the government. That's a shit show right now. So, is this episode just me ranting? Maybe. I don't know. But I know you guys can all agree with me and my feelings, and maybe you also feel this way, and you're just sick of all of the external things that are happening right now, because I sure am. But Anyways, there's a lot of good things out of all of that and a lot of accomplishments that I've had, so I'm just trying to focus on those and take it one step at a time. But content creation is like such a good thing, and it gives me a creative outlet during this time that I have just all this other shit going on. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me, and I really hope that I can kind of get back on the internet. I know I've said this many times over this past year, but I'm slowly but surely like getting back on the internet. And maybe we can talk about that at some point too. Maybe we can dive into my experience of being on the internet and being a Twitch streamer and all that fun stuff, because that could be a whole episode of tea also. Anyways, that's all the shit that's going on with me right now. I have some really cool stuff I've been doing. Also, I've been getting back into like reading now that I don't have to spend all my time reading textbooks and research articles and stuff. So I've been getting back into reading. A lot of the books that I have are still like social work related, but they're going to be really helpful when I'm working with clients. And if you guys are interested, I would definitely love to create a couple episodes going over some of these books, because I think we can all benefit from the books that I'm reading. They're all about like emotional control, healthy relationships, advice on other stuff. So I would love to kind of share about some of those books too. I'm currently reading one about ADHD and then also one about couples. Both of them are really great books, so maybe I can share more about those. But yeah, I've been trying to read some more books, learn some more on my own. I also took a trip to Mexico, which was so fun. I still need to post the pictures of that. I've been starting to kind of get some ideas for like vlogging and like posting more on YouTube. I would absolutely love to have my next big purchase be a camera, because I want to vlog so bad. Plus, if I had a camera, I have a camera, a webcam for streaming. But if I had a better camera, one for vlogging and recording, I could post the video along with the audio for the podcast, which would be great. And then I can also make some vlogs and other type of content for YouTube. So my next big purchase that I'm hoping to make is a camera. I have one linked on my throne, so I think I'm just going to keep trying to add more money to that. It is a crowdfunding option, but I'm kind of just have it there for me too, so I can just put little bits out of my paycheck in it each month or whatever. So I am looking forward to that. Maybe by the time like Christmas rolls around, I can pay the rest of it off and kind of have it as a little Christmas gift to myself. I think that would be really cool. But for now, I'm gonna kind of like mess around with recording on my phone and seeing if I can make some sort of vlog content with my phone at least. But no promises. I think overarching theme for this is just trying to get into a routine that works best for me and figuring out like what times of the day I'm most productive, and also just motivating myself to be productive. I've been lacking in productivity, but as soon as I like push myself to like get out of bed or like start reading or something, I can get in the zone. So I think I just need to kind of work on that too. And also just like keep talking to you guys and like reach out to people online and IRL. And I feel like the more I communicate with people, the more I'm able to communicate with myself and get ideas flowing and be productive and all that stuff. So that's what I'm feeling right now. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I don't have coffee or a matcha today, but I do have an energy drink. So, of course, every episode I'm going to be drinking some sort of fun little drink. Per my last episode, because the only way to be productive for me is to have a fun little drink every day. So, my fun little drink today is a energy drink. It's actually called Lotus Energy. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that, but it's a syrup that you put into a drink, and the Lotus Energy is supposed to be more organic, like plant-based. I don't really know how it works, to be honest with you, but it tastes good and it's supposed to be healthier. I don't know. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, so But yeah, that's what I'm drinking today. It's pretty good. It's like a pink Starburst flavor. Shout out Waffle in my Discord for telling me to get that flavor because it does taste exactly like a pink Starburst. So shout out. With all of these financial hardships and financial decisions that I'm making right now, I will always include my fun little drink into all of that. That's one thing that doesn't stress me out is me getting my fun little drink of the day. Going on my little journey in my car across town to go to the coffee shop, okay? It's the little things. But yeah, I'm just struggling with the transition into my career. I don't know, did I mention this? I have to take the exam for my licensure, by the way, which means I have to study for that too. And that is actually, let's see, 9 days from now. So by the next podcast episode, you will probably find out whether I passed or failed my exam. The exam is 4 hours long, by the way. It's like 200 questions. So we'll see how that goes. If I pass, that means that I can start decorating my office and preparing to see clients. But I still have to get credentialed with insurances, which means I won't actually be able to see clients for another probably 2 months, which is also very unfortunate. So I have to do that too. Lots of fun stuff. I'm going to a con this next Saturday, September 28th in Des Moines, Iowa. It's mostly like anime based con, I think. So I'm very excited to go to that. I've never been to that con before. I think it's just called Animate. I don't think I'm actually going to be cosplaying this one because it was kind of last minute and to be honest with you, I haven't cosplayed at all this year, so I don't really have like the motivation to cosplay this weekend. But ooh, that could be a fun podcast episode too. Like talking about my first time cosplaying and being a new cosplayer and also talking about cosplans for ideas that I want to cosplay in the future. Ooh, that could be a fun episode. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that too, because that would be cool. I do have a couple cons planned for 2025, so I'll need to do some planning for that because I do really want to cosplay for those cons. Those are all the things that I've been doing and the things that I'm looking forward to. I'm just reminding myself that I'm just a little guy with big feelings in a big world, you know? I'm gonna be for real. This time of the year is my favorite time of the year. The day that I'm recording this, September 22nd, is actually the fall equinox. So it's the first day of fall, and I woke up this morning and we actually had a cold front come through. It was like 85 degrees yesterday. Today it's like 73. And I just think it's so cool that the day of the fall equinox, we got a cold front come in. I'm really starting to feel the fall weather, and it's literally my favorite time of the year. So I'm looking forward to just feeling content in my environment and putting out content and just feeling good. Every year, I feel like the fall time is when I thrive in creativity, in productivity. I wonder if it's like the idea of going back to school, because usually people go back to school in the fall, and that's when we really get the energy of productivity. So I wonder if it's related to that. But every fall, I always have like a kickstart to my creativity and productivity. I think actually my first stream on Twitch was also in October. So it's just something about the fall time that I just feel the most productive. I don't know if it's just because I set the vibes in my room. Like I have the windows open, the brisk air, I got this warm candle scent going. I'm all comfy cozy with my blankets and hoodies. I don't know. I thrive with this environment. So I'm very much looking forward to the next couple months in terms of creativity and like posting on the internet and everything because it's just this time of the year just really hits for me. So I'm really looking forward to that. October is just like such a great time of the year too with Halloween. Halloween is like one of my favorite holidays ever. So I'm just I'm feeling hopeful for the next couple months. Despite everything that's going on right now, I'm still feeling good and hopeful. So Lots of rambling today, lots of information. If you made it this far in the episode, thank you so much for just sitting and listening to me absolutely just info dump and vent about my life. I don't really know what's keeping you here, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm really glad you're here. If you're going through any sort of similar feelings or things in your life, please let me know. The whole point of this podcast, it's literally called The Casual Collective, because us as a collective should be able to come together and talk about these things and relate to one another, discuss it. In the end, do it in a casual way where we can just sit back and have a cup of coffee and relate to one another. So, if you are feeling any of these feelings or issues or concerns, please reach out to me and talk to me about it, because I would love to talk to you more about all these things. If you have any questions about social work, I would love to talk about that. I'm very passionate about social work and mental health. So if you have any questions about mental health, feel free to reach out to me. Many episodes will continue to talk about mental health, so probably talk about ADHD quite a bit. Because as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize how I have ADHD, which I didn't realize for the longest time, and I'm starting to realize it. So kind of exploring that too. ADHD and anxiety are like the two like biggest things for me. We can also talk about trauma. I am working on being a trauma-informed therapist also, so there's a lot I could talk about when it comes to trauma. I feel like I've been just going off the rail in so many different directions in this podcast episode. However, I feel like it's needed. There's just so many things going on and so many things to talk about. And since it's so early in the podcast, I think it's okay to just kind of dump all this and have a bunch of different directions that we could go in. Thank you so much, again, if you have gotten this far in the podcast. I am just extremely grateful to even have a platform at all on the internet, especially because of the imposter syndrome that I feel. I remind myself every day of just how grateful I am, and you guys do such a great job at reminding me that I matter and like my content matters, so thank you for that. Same thing for you guys. You matter, and the things that you put on the internet also matter. So I'm just really grateful to have met so many amazing people on the internet, and I'm really excited to continue to strengthen those relationships that I have made on the internet and also form new ones. So thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for following. Make sure you give this podcast 5 stars on Spotify. I noticed a lot of you guys did last episode, so thank you so much for that. You guys are amazing. You're the best. Oh my gosh. So yeah, don't forget to follow so that way you get notified when there's a new episode. And if you want to check out any of my other social media, I'll link it down below in the description. Feel free to join my Discord. I'm really trying to talk more about the topics in my episodes, more in my Discord, because I've tended to record some of my episodes and then post them. And then as more people listen to them and like give me feedback and stuff, I'll have more ideas. And so I'd love to continue the conversation in Discord also. So feel free to join my Discord. I might make a separate channel for the podcast. I'm still working on that, but that would be great if you did that also. I hope that you're able to enjoy the fall weather if you can, depending on where you live. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Happy Tuesday. You guys have the rest of the week to look forward to, and I hope it goes well for all of you. Whether it's morning or night, wherever you are when listening to this, I hope it's a good one. I post a new episode every other Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Time. This one will go out on September 24th, so we will see you on the next one on October 8th. Bye!